Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on our webcast. Today, we're going to talk about Pfizer. So, there's been a lot of news out there lately with Pfizer's new acquisition, getting into oncology, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting because at the beginning of the year, Pfizer's stock had dropped about 50 percentage points. So it looked interesting to us.
Mhm.
And for that reason, we thought, let's do some research. Through our experience, the best investments to buy are probably the ones that have dropped the most when someone doesn't want to
Right.
actually own the stock. And if you're contrarian, that's a perfect laneway for us to make an entry point.
Yeah. So there was some, I guess, recent headlines in the news that might shy investors away from it, like from previous years' growth, I guess, have been considerably down. So the headlines were Pfizer falls 20%. Another one was earnings shares collapse by whatever, 33%. And I think that a lot of that was attributed to coming off of the COVID vaccines and starting to phase those out. Do you think? What do you think?
I think that's for sure the reason. Pfizer had made a huge bet on the COVID vaccines, and you know what? It just didn't work out. They overinvested in it, and
Right.
that's why the stock price fell about 50 percentage points. So they
Right.
overinvested in COVID, and as we see now, it's probably unnecessary. So at the end of last year, Pfizer made a huge acquisition. They bought this oncology company. They paid about $43 billion for Seagen. And the expectation is that they've got 8 pipeline drugs that they think will add about $20 billion to revenue by the end of the decade. It seems like a
Right.
long time from now, and it is, but if
Mhm.
those 8 pipeline drugs are successful, they will add about 35% to revenue, which is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it is huge. So still trading about what, in the 20s? So,
Yeah, it's high 20s. I think it could totally go over 30. No problem
yeah.
go over 30. And what's interesting is that if you were to buy the stock now, you would be getting almost a 6% dividend yield.
Right.
And when we bought it, which was I think it was back in March or so, when we purchased it, we paid about $27.40 per share.
Mm.
And our clients got just around a 6% dividend yield. And you know what? If the price doesn't move a penny from here, clients will
Well,
double
today
the.
it's about what, Jeff? It's like 29 and change.
It's almost 30, almost 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for our clients, they've made almost 12%, including
Yeah.
the dividend. But
And didn't the CEO for Pfizer, they brought up that the fact that dividend is, substantial and that they would not be moving either way on that. If anything, it would increase over time.
yeah, the CEO in the most recent conference call said our dividend is a cow, a sacred cow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so listen, if you bought the stock with a 6% yield and the price didn't move a penny from here, you would double your money in about, 11, 12 years, even if the price didn't move a penny.
Yeah.
But we did not buy this for the dividend. We bought it for
No.
capital growth. So we think it's going to go up. I'm very confident in the oncology side of the business. And
And there was mention too of a weight loss pill in trial right now,
right.
right?
Yep.
2024, and they're talking about hopefully approval at some point in 2025. So that's actually quite interesting if that gets approved and takes off, because that what could, impact a lot of masses. Could
Yeah,
be,
just to put
enticing to,
this into perspective, as you say,
mm,
the revenues for Pfizer last year were about $58 billion. The whole weight loss drug market should be about $100 billion by the end of
right.
the decade. So
Mm,
this is a huge market. and Pfizer has a drug they're working on, and they're moving it forward, and hopefully it gets approved and is successful. But that would give them access to a major market they have no revenue exposure to.
Mm. So Pfizer really has, it's like new solutions to tomorrow's medical problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should say I was not expecting any sort of resistance from clientele on Pfizer, but we got some of it. Some people were wondering, why would we buy a stock like this? You shouldn't underestimate the fact that a lot of people were against the vaccine during COVID. But that's not why we bought it. We bought it because they're moving towards oncology.
Yeah.
And I think it's
And weight loss.
and weight loss, yeah. So it's a promising future.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
right now it's around $30. If you're a client and you've owned it, you're up about, let's call it 12%, and you're getting let's call it a 5.5% dividend yield. And we're very optimistic about the future of this firm. They've got the oncology drugs as well as the potential for a weight loss drug too.
Mm. Right.
So
Okay, so it looks good.
yeah, sure does.
We'll keep an eye on it.
All right, thanks,
Thanks,
Sunny.
Jeff.